Another unique feature of English is how it talks about tense and aspect. So tense is when in time an action happened, whereas aspect has to do with kind of like the temporal makeup or character of the action. So did the action happen at a single point in time? Was the action spread out over time? Was it a progressive? Was it habitual? That type of thing. So English talks about tense and aspect, but English doesn't technically have a future tense. We instead, the word will for future tense is actually a modal verb. So like can and may and should, right? So it's a modal verb that you stick in front of other verbs. So if we use a modal verb for future tense, but then we use a suffix for present progressive like ing and past tense ed, right? But then English is also developing kind of a tense suffix. So you can say like, I'll eat later, the ll, you can put on the end of pronouns, right? But you can only do that when it's a verb. You can't say like my last will and testament. Like that doesn't work. You can't do it with noun, like when it means like to will something, a will, right? You can only use it when it's being used as a future tense. You can only turn it into that suffix with a future tense. But it's not a suffix on a verb, it's a suffix on the pronouns, right? And so that happens in other languages too. But what doesn't happen is this weird distribution of these three different methods of talking about tense. So English has, suffixes on verbs, it also has modal verbs, and then it also has suffixes on pronouns. And yes, technically they're not suffixes, they're what linguists would call eclectic, but I'll save that for another video. But, the point is like English just has this interesting diversity of ways. And I personally have never seen that in another language. Like I've seen languages that sometimes have prefixes versus suffixes, or they have clitics in other parts of the sentence and things, but English is just kind of this weird mashup of different techniques for doing that.